Hello, everyone. Today is Tuesday, September 16th. Time is 5:30, and the regular scheduled meeting for the Planning and Zoning Commission for the City of Socorro is now in session.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 2, establishment of quorum. Andrew Arroyos, absent. Enrique Cisneros, absent. David Estrada,
Present.
Julie Dominguez,
Here.
Osvaldo Reza,
Here.
Yolanda Rodriguez.
Here.
We have quorum with 4 commissioners present. Moving on to item number 3, open forum. Esteban, do we have anyone that would like to speak?
Quorum, not an open quorum currently.
Thank you, Esteban. Moving on to item number 4, consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion made by David Estrada and second by Julie Dominguez to approve. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstain? Motion carried.
I abstain.
Oh.
Okay.
I
Sorry.
I apologize.
It's okay.
Any abstain? Thank you. Motion carried. Moving on to item number 5, a public hearing for the proposed amendment to the City of Socorro's master plan and original zoning of a parcel of land situated in Block 4 and 5, Socorro Grant, El Paso County, Texas, being part of and out of Mesa Spur Drain from unclassified, no zoning classification, to ICMUD, Industrial Commercial, Mixed Use District, along with a variance request from Section 46-451, General Regulations, subsection A, area requirements to allow a 9.79 acre site instead of the minimum 10-acre requirement, to provide additional parking and microgrid site to support the existing and future industrial space within the Socorro Logistics Center development. Mr. Estrada?
Public hearing for item number 5 is open at 5:33.
We did have a speaker, but the speaker, Mr. Carrasco, is actually for number 7, not number 5. I just told him that it was number 5, 6, so if we can move him. Thank you.
Thank you, Esteban. No, we don't have anyone that would like to speak on this item.
Okay, public hearing for item number 5 is closed at 5:34.
Thank you, Mr. Estrada. Moving on to item number 6, consider and take action on the approval of the proposed amendment to the City of Socorro's master plan and original zoning of a parcel of land situated in Block 4 and 5, Socorro Grant, El Paso County, Texas, being part of and out of Mesa Spur Drain from unclassified, no zoning classification, to ICMUD, Industrial Commercial Mixed Use District, along with a variance request from Section 46-451, General Regulation, subsection A, area requirement to allow a 9.79 acre site instead of the minimum 10-acre requirement, to provide additional parking and microgrid site to support the existing and future industrial space within the Socorro Logistics Center development. Mr. Botello?
Good evening, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Jose Botello, planner with the City of Socorro. Item number 6 on the agenda is the Mesa Spur and Drain rezoning request. So some general information on this request. The property owner is Socorro Logistics Land 2 LLC. Representative is Mr. Adam Dewar of Socorro Logistics Land 2 LLC. This property is 9.78 acres in size, currently zoned unclassified. Land use is vacant. And the future land use map designated this property as open space and parks. And so in summary, the request is for approval of a rezoning of a property from unclassified to ICMUD with a variance request from section 46-451 general regulations under subsection A, area requirements. Then this would be to allow a 9.78 acre site instead of the 10 acre minimum requirement to provide additional parking, and a microgrid site to support the existing and future industrial space within the Socorro Logistics Center development. And so staff's recommendation is to approve the rezoning request, and staff is also recommending approval of the variance request from section 46-451 under general regulations, subsection A, area requirements, to allow, once again, the 9.78 acre site instead of the 10 acre minimum requirement to provide additional parking, and a microgrid site to support the existing and future industrial space within the Socorro Logistics Center development. And so on this location map, you'll see that the property is situated just within the city limits. The hatching denotes the property requesting to be rezoned. This is a portion of the Mesa Spur Drain. And then you'll see the property outlined in a thick yellow line. The gray denotes the unclassified zoning of the property. And these are some pictures taken from Socorro Logistics Lane. The picture above and the Nuevo Hueco Tanks Boulevard picture is the picture below. On the aerial image, you'll see the area for this property requesting to rezone to ICMUD. This is the future land use map. The green overlay is the open space and parks designation that we foresaw for this property. Constituents within a 200-foot radius were notified for this rezoning request. We did not receive any correspondence in support or in against, in opposition for the rezoning request. And then followed by the public notice letters that were sent to the constituents. And so this is the development plan that was received, showing what the intent is for this development, which is to provide additional parking and a microgrid site to support any developments coming into this Socorro Logistics Center master plan. And so the development schedule that was submitted is showing that the completion would be in mid-July of 2026. And so once again, the request is for approval of a rezoning of a property from unclassified to ICMUD with a variance request from section 46-451 under general regulations, subsection A, which is area requirements, to allow a 9.78 acre site instead of the 10 acre minimum requirement to provide additional parking and a microgrid site to support the existing and future industrial space within the Socorro Logistics Center development. And at this time, staff can answer any questions. We also have Mr. Grajeda with CEA present to answer any questions as well.
I have some questions. It seems like what I see outlined is that open space, which is the ditch for irrigation, correct? Is that what we're trying to rezone, or is that just labeled as open space?
Correct, yes, that's what's being requested to be rezoned.
And what are they gonna do with the ditch?
So the development plan shows the additional parking for the Socorro Logistics Lane, Socorro Logistics Center development. So this is all within the Socorro Logistics Center development, and so the Socorro Logistics Land 2 LLC purchased the property from the Water Improvement District, and this is to provide that additional parking and electrical microgrid station.
Now, do we have any feedback from the Water Improvement District of is there gonna be any water future running there? Are those water rights sold, but is that ditch no longer gonna be used for future farmers, or why did they develop but not remove the ditch?
That's a very good question. And I can defer that question to Mr. Grajeda.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Jorge Grajeda with CA Group. To help answer that question, so that land, the developer put a request for that particular land, several months ago to the El Paso County Water Improvement District. What they did is they assessed that land, that particular area, just to see if it's, if it's still running for the purposes for irrigation. And as you can tell, a lot of that area has already, been developed. The adjacent property, which is the Ivy property, that particular segment of the Mesa Spur Drain was also, classified as surplus land by El Paso County Water Improvement District. It was sold, and they pretty much end up filling that drain as well. So that's pretty much the continuation of the Mesa Spur Drain. So El Paso County Water Improvement District, obviously looked at it in terms of its operations. Once they figure that it's no longer really used for the irrigation purposes, then they put it for sale, and then the developer ended up purchasing the land. So it's no longer an El Paso County Water Improvement District facility. Got it. Now, do we have an aerial view of where the before part, where it belonged to the Ivies, has now been developed? I think actually yeah, there you go. I think that particular area right there. Yeah. So that Mesa Spur Drain used to run all the way. And it's where the old sale barn used to be, correct? Correct. Yeah. Do we have anything in writing from Water Improvement District where they confirm that no water rights will be given for future or adjacent farmers that might water off of that ditch? No, but you have a warranty deed already that's already been provided by, from the title company at the time of the deeds. What other alternative would the people past Nuevo Hueco would they be watering from? Do you have that by any chance? Or who used to water through those ditches? So the Mesa, the spur drain, the purpose for the drain itself was just to collect irrigation groundwater. Groundwater, but it's not an irrigation ditch. There still is a canal, a channel that goes from the Juan de Herrera lateral, just a little bit further south right there, that area, that's still supplying irrigation water to the corn maze farm right there. That's where I'm confused. Right, so the lateral is still there and it's still used for irrigation. And it's concreted, that's the one that they put. Okay, correct. Got it, that's the one I was concerned about. Correct. Okay, now that clears it up for me. That was it on mine.
I don't have any questions. No.
I have a question regarding a microgrid. What is a microgrid?
So microgrid is a small-scale, independent source of energy that'll be used to kind of facilitate, power to these particular buildings. Think about it like solar panels in your home that could either work in conjunction with the utility grid, or it could operate independently. So,
Can you point those out where those would be located right there on that map?
so it'll be that small area there towards the corner.
Okay, and then parking, I'm assuming everything in gray?
Yeah, and the rest would just be parking, correct.
And the green would be open, would remain like open space?
Landscape open space, correct.
And then the blue is ponding?
Correct.
Okay. And I guess my last question would be, I'm assuming the developer didn't own this when they first introduced this a couple of years back, when this development was first started and when the initial rezoning for all this area came through.
Right, correct. So this was still part of the El Paso County Water Improvement District owned facility, and then they bought everything around it, which is already zoned to an ICMUD. So now that this portion is no longer being used for intended purposes, they want to just go ahead and supply and obviously add additional parking to facilitate that Socorro Logistics development.
Okay, I'm good. I don't have any questions.
I'll make a motion to approve with the recommendations of staff.
Second.
I have a motion made by Osvaldo Reza to approve with the staff recommendation, second by Julie Dominguez. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nay? Any abstain? Motion carried. Moving on to
Thank you.
item
Thank you.
numbers, moving on to item number 7. And,
Good evening, Commissioners. Staff is requesting to delete items 7 and 8 from the agenda.
For this one.
Number 7.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. You want a table or postpone or what? Or were you deleting the item? Okay, to delete. Okay, I make a motion to delete item number 7 and number 8 from today's agenda.
Before we do we have somebody on the phone that wanted to talk regarding this item?
Yes, we did, but they hung up. I don't know if they're in the audience, though.
Oh, okay, no, I just wanted to know, give them their chance.
do I have a second on this motion?
I second.
I have a motion made by David Estrada to delete items 7 and 8, and second by Yolanda Rodriguez. Do I have all those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any
Um,
abstain?
Seems like somebody's on the line.
No, it's
Oh,
them talking.
Chairperson may just want to announce to the public that they're here for items that are ready that have been deleted, so they understand in case somebody,
Is here.
the gentleman there at the last.
Okay. ¿Hay alguien aquí presente hoy que quería platicar con agenda item número 7 o número 8? Item 7 or number 8. Is there anyone here to speak on that item? No, that's an upcoming item. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, 7 and 8 is the Bauman.
The item's deleted, but it's going to come back to the next meeting once again when they. Can I just get a point of information?
if I may, I'd like to open the public speaking.
We would need to open public, here, but,
It's probably because we've deleted it, so we haven't opened it to the rest of the public, but, planning and zoning department, you're gonna give me information on the next time we'll get posted, if you have a specific question. You can ask them as individuals, I think, after the meeting. Whenever they bring in commercial, they should be aware of the areas on the residential, because all the flooding goes to their property. Okay. Yeah, that's something that'll get addressed at the next hearing, so everybody's here.
Would it be allowed to open it just to take their concerns into consideration at all?
I think probably because we got a problem with posting and giving IDs the proper notice, the public can kind of need to wait till next.
Got it.
Because I don't think everybody got the notice, and then everybody's here to voice their concerns.
Got it.
When should that be? You guys know it'll be on the next? If you go to the city website, just for everybody, there's,
We're good? Okay,
Thank you.
so,
Just to confirm, all those in favor of the motion to postpone meeting, to delete, items 7 and 8? All those in favor of the motion?
aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstain? Motion carried. Now moving on to item number 9, consider and take action on the proposed approval of preliminary and final plat for the Punta del Este Unit 3 subdivision, being a portion of Section 13 and 18, Block 78, Township 4, Texas and Pacific Railway Company surveys, and located at 2100 Asensio Drive, El Paso County, Texas. Mr. Botello?
Good evening, Commissioners. Item number 9 on the agenda is the Punta del Este Unit 3 preliminary and final plat. There we go. Yeah. So some general information on this development. The property owner is CASCO Ventures, being the representatives as well. This property is 21.98 acres in size. There's no zoning for this property, as this property is situated within Socorro's, the city of Socorro's 5-mile ETJ. Current land use is commercial and vacant. And in summary, the request is for approval of a preliminary and final plat for the Punta del Este Unit 3 subdivision. And staff is recommending approval of the preliminary and final plat for Punta del Este Unit 3 subdivision. And so on this location map, you'll see that this property is just outside our 2-mile ETJ. The brownish overlay signifies this property is situated within the city of Socorro's 5-mile ETJ. The property being outlined in the yellow line. So this is a zoning map, but once again, there's no zoning on this property. It does not apply as it's in the city of Socorro's ETJs. So zoning does not apply for any properties within our ETJs. And these are some pictures that were taken from Ascension Drive and Las Colonias Road. Followed by an aerial image showing the development. And then you'll see the preliminary plat showing the Las Colonias Road right-of-way and Ascension Street. And then the final plat showing the lots that will be created from this subdivision. Total of 5 lots, 6, sorry. And so once again, the request is for approval of the preliminary and final plat for the Punta del Este Unit 3 subdivision. And at this time, staff can answer any questions. And the engineer, Mr. Dorado, is present to answer any questions as well.
I see a fabrication shop, aerobic leach field, drain fields. I guess my first question is, what are they gonna be fabricating over there? What are they building? And my biggest question on that is because it's next to a residential area.
So we don't look at any of the buildings. There's no zoning. And so what's being requested is the approval of plats. These plats in the ETJ is part of the requirements outlined in the city of Socorro whenever we have a development that is either in our 2 or 5 mile ETJ. Only the plats come to the office, but we don't see or it's not a requirement to disclose what development or what construction will be once the plats are approved.
And again, for the record, why, I know a little bit of why it's considered an ETJ, but can you explain why they're considered an ETJ? To what I had understood, it was because they provide their own water, they haul it off. They basically only have electricity, so they're out too much in the outskirts that's why they're considered ETJs. They can basically go out and build as they please, per se, right? Can you explain a little bit more why they're considered ETJs or what really an ETJ means so that we can understand?
So ETJ stands for extraterritorial jurisdiction. And each municipality has a certain area that is within their ETJ. Depending on the size of a city, the ETJ may change. So a smaller community might have just a 1 mile ETJ, a larger community might have a 2 mile ETJ. The city of Socorro has a 2 mile ETJ and a 5 mile ETJ. And the history of the extraterritorial jurisdiction was that these areas being so close to a municipality would at some point eventually become a part of the city. Well, a lot has changed in Texas and the rules that operate and govern annexations. So now it is very hard for a city to annex an area. Something that, if an area outside of the city limits and inside the ETJ wants to annex, they have to start that process. So an individual owner has to want to get annexed by the city, and then the city can do an analysis and decide if they want to bring that area into the city. So with that being said, it's very hard now for cities to annex areas that they want to. And all that the city has the authority to do in an extraterritorial jurisdiction is have some say over the approvable plats, and then other minor things like billboards and, I'm trying to think of a couple of others, but they're really minor things that the city has the authority and to oversee in the extraterritorial jurisdiction. Again, with that idea that back when they had some say, because these areas were presumably going to be a part of the city, and there needed to be some way to manage areas coming in so that they would have the services, have the layouts that match what the cities have.
Now, at the moment that they're using for commercial use, it's a benefit to the city because they're providing commercial taxes or anything of that
Not for
nature.
city, these are areas that are outside of the city limits. They do not provide any tax base to the city. They are a part of the county.
County, okay.
But that now is being a part of the county, they don't have zoning, they have, very limited building regulations, and we don't, as a city, oversee that part.
Would they just basically, since it's part of the city's ETJ, they have to present their plot
These
maps?
flats,
And that's it?
all. And then, as we know, our jurisdiction over how we review and approve plats, what if they follow all of the ordinance regulations, state regulations, we recommend approval.
How
They
long,
need to be approved.
how long has this warehouse been functioning for?
Oh,
Do we know?
I would not be able to answer that. But
I know I saw it up at least a year or two ago. Were any of the residents nearby notified?
again, not a process that.
Not a process that requires it?
Yeah, it's not a requirement.
I mean, and it's been there for a
Notify-
year or two.
Notify the public of any, because there aren't any.
And would it benefit the city in any future? The city of Socorro, per se, with taxing jurisdiction and everything like that?
Not a part of the city limits.
Even when it gets annexed, it won't benefit the city?
But that would be up to the property owners.
Hmm.
If at that point, they wanted to be annexed into the city, and the city can provide all of the services that are required. And the other thing that needs to happen is that it needs to be adjacent to the city. So if it's still kind of a little farther out, we would still need to work with all of the property owners between the city limits and that property to see if they would want to get annexed and if the city can provide the services that would be required. So that's fire, well, that's right up through the emergency services district, so we already get that, but, police, street maintenance, and just all of the other city functions, all of the other city services.
That was it on my questions. Thank you.
I don't have any questions.
Okay, so, yeah, good information. A lot of that stuff I didn't know. But basically, I'm hearing that the city has no control over what gets built over there at any point in the future. I mean, it could, the entire spectrum.
And it just has this added requirement,
basically looking at the preliminary and the final plat, and that's it.
And if it meets all the requirements, which it does.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
I have a motion made by Osvaldo Reza to approve, second by Yolanda Rodriguez. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstain? Motion carried. Moving on to item number 10, consider and take action on the proposed approval of replat for Socorro, for Horizon Park Unit 1, replat B, subdivision being a replat of lot 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22, Block 1, Horizon Park Unit 1, replat A, subdivision, and located on Andrew Arroyo's Drive, Socorro, Texas. Mr. Botella?
Good evening, Commissioners. Item number 10 on the agenda is the Horizon Park Unit 1 Replat B subdivision. And so some general information on this development. The property owner is Bowling Brothers Development Company LLC. Representative is Jorge Azcárate. The lot size for this replat is 1.097 acres. The zoning for the property is R2, which is medium density residential, and the current land use is vacant. And so in summary, the request is for approval of a replat for the Horizon Park Unit 1 Replat B subdivision. And staff's recommendation is to approve the replat for Horizon Park Unit 1 Replat B subdivision. And so on this location map, you'll see that the property is situated within close vicinity to Range War Court. Zoning map showing the properties being replatted. You'll see that there's a small section, a green section, technical error there, but this property is zoned R2. And this is a view of the property from Range War Court. The Horizon Park Unit 1 Replat A subdivision is currently under development in this area. And then you'll see the 6 lots being replatted for this request on the aerial image, followed by the replat indicating which lots are being resized. And so once again, the request is for approval of a replat for the Horizon Park Unit 1 Replat B subdivision. And at this time, staff can answer any questions. We also have Mr. Azcárate from CEA present to answer any questions as well.
I'm still not clear on the reason for the replat.
Okay, I have some questions. Was it always gonna be a cul-de-sac or dead end there, or is that what they're replatting?
No, so the replat is to fix lot sizes for a previous, which were indicated under Horizon Park Unit 1 Replat A.
Which we
Those-
don't have that here, right?
We don't have that here.
Okay.
And it was because the lots were not to our 6,000 square foot requirements, and this is to address that, that flaw in the plat.
So now they are the minimum of the 6,000 square feet?
Yes, sir,
What
correct.
we're showing here? Okay.
Did you, does the developer have to, did they lose a lot in increasing square footage on the other lots or no?
I think before it was a straight road, right, without the cul-de-sac, if I recall, right? Please.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Jorge Azcárate with CA Group for the record. No, that was, I think, like 3 plats before this one. So it's always, the latest one has always been a cul-de-sac.
Okay.
But we didn't lose any lots. What we had to do is shift probably some of these lots about 2 feet to make sure that we get the 6,000. It was a clerical error on our part that I think 2 or 3 of the lots were under the 6,000, so we had to kind of adjust the lot line. So we wanted to do that before they go to construction, house construction. they submit permits and then they get tagged that they don't meet it, now it becomes a bigger issue, so,
Okay,
okay,
then we're good with that.
thank you.
Questions?
Nope, I don't know any questions.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion made by David Estrada to approve, second by Osvaldo Reza. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 Any nays? Any abstain? Motion carried. Moving on to item 11, consider and take action on the proposed approval of preliminary plat for Cotton Cove Unit 2 subdivision, being a tract 10G1, 10H, 10L, and 11B1, Block 3, Socorro Grants, and located at East Burt Road, Socorro, Texas. Mr. Botello?
Good evening, Commissioners. Item number 11 on the agenda is the Cotton Cove Unit 2 subdivision preliminary plat. So some general information on this plat. Once again, the property owner is the Bowling Brothers Development Company LLC. The representative is Mr. Jorge Escarate. The lot size for this development is 4.36 acres. The property is currently zoned R2, which is our medium density residential zoning district. Current land use is vacant. And in summary, the request is for approval of a preliminary plat for the Cotton Cove Unit 2 subdivision. And staff's recommendation is to approve the preliminary plat for Cotton Cove Unit 2 subdivision. And so on this location map, you'll see that the property is situated between East Burt Road and the Mesa Drain. The property in this zoning map is outlined in a thick red line. The orange is signifying the R2 zoning designation for this property. And so these are some pictures taken from East Burt Road and Cold Creek Road of this development. And you can see once again the area for this development outlined in a yellow line. Once again, the property is situated along, in between Mesa Drain Road and East Burt Road. And then followed by a preliminary plat showing what the proposed development is for this subdivision, which would be to create the residential lots with the ponding area in between both roads. And so once again, the request is for approval of the preliminary plat for Cotton Cove Unit 2 subdivision. And at this time, staff can answer any questions, and we have Mr. Escarate present as well to answer any questions.
So, the access point to this subdivision is through Burt Road only, correct? Burt
Correct.
Road. And you said how many lots? 33 lots?
On this, we have a total of 17 lots.
17 lots.
18 lots if you count the ponding area.
Okay, so we've seen a couple of these in the past. I think there's one or two of these subdivisions, right? And I guess I question Burt Road, right? Very narrow. I think we've discussed the right of way, the width of Burt Road. And so at this point, I think I'll ask again, does the developer have any plans to improve Burt Road, or does that fall on the city?
That would fall in the city is that this plat is not, or Burt Road wouldn't be under that scope of work. So what you're seeing on the plat is the creation of the 18 lots with the ponding area, but the area outside, the right of way being East Burt, that wouldn't be in the scope of this plat.
And then sewer and utility, is connecting to existing sewer lines off of Burt Road?
Correct.
are there any plans to improve the sewer system on that, on Burt Road? Maybe not from the developer, but from the utility company? Or does it need improvement in any way to handle everything that's been added to it?
I think that would be a question for the Lower Valley Water District, but we're not, we wouldn't have an answer for that.
Okay, does and I'm not familiar, I'm just asking, right? But I'm thinking that the developer at this point, or does the city would require letters from the utility company saying that there's adequate service for sewer and water and gas?
Well, typically, yes, under Chapter 38 subdivisions, Article 2, the subdivision standards, we outline the requirements for development to include connections to utilities, and the applicant or the engineer takes care of coordinating those meetings to see how they can tie into existing water and sewage lines. And we see those once we see the submittal of the subdivision improvement plans, which is what discloses the engineered drawings for the right-of-way and for the location of the utility connections.
And those plans are approved by the Lower Valley Water.
By the Lower Valley Water District? Okay, and by all the other utility companies, I'm assuming, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, Bert, will Range War connect to the subdivision where the apartments are at?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Mr. Escarate, would you know?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Jorge Escarate for the record. What was your question? I'm sorry.
Would Range War, because I see Bert and then it connects to Range War Court, would that one be connected to that other development where it would connect to exit off over here to where the apartments are at? To the other
Range,
developments?
I don't see it on this street.
Right there, right up at the top right, you see Range War right there.
It's not, because Range War actually dead ends.
Okay.
And then it dead ends to, I forgot whose property it is. And then after that, it just goes to an easement, an access easement, so that people are not landlocked. Originally, I think that's the plan that you were at one point referring to, that we didn't have that cul-de-sac. You're right. Originally, we did have a street going and improving that portion of Range War. However, there's a small sliver that we could not get that individual to commit, and it was probably about 30 feet approximately that they would not be willing to commit, so we had to go out there and kind of do a change and then actually acquire the land in Horizon Park Unit 3, which is also already under construction, to provide access to Burt Road. But I think there's a gentleman off of Range War, or one of the easements that we're actually improving and providing sewer to him as well, as part of Horizon Park Unit 3. I think Mr. Escobar mentioned that probably about 3 weeks ago, a month ago, that we're providing water and sewer to that individual.
So it's a win-win for him as well.
Yeah, right, correct.
Got it, thank you.
And then to answer your question, Mr. Estrada, Commissioner Estrada, the sewer line on Burt Road is an 8-inch sewer line. A typical 8-inch sewer line at minimum slope holds about 400 to 500 single-family residential homes. We do not have 400 to 500 single-family residential homes going into that sewer line off of Burt Road. Sometimes I know the Lower Valley, and as you move forward for a design, you want more people to tap into it, because if you don't have the sewer connection and sewer to be able to push out, especially the sewer line, it stays there and it causes odor. So the more people that tap into it or connect to it is the opportunity to flush those sewer lines out.
I see, I understand,
Yeah.
I understand. Of more
And I can
flow.
tell, I think that sewer line is at minimum slope,
It's at
at
minimum.
0.3, 0.4.
Okay, and you're good, I mean, you feel comfortable with all utilities in there? Sewer, I think, would be the most important, but.
That is correct.
You
We've
work
already
with all the
submitted,
utility
actually, the improvement plans over to Cito Socorro as well as to the Lower Valley.
Hmm.
And we coordinate all this beforehand.
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Do you know of any plans for any future stop, I don't see any lights, like signal lighting at the corner or at the intersection of Burt and Horizon Boulevard.
I don't know, and the way traffic signals work is they have to be warranted. So there's 7 warrants that have to be justified in order to be able to introduce a traffic signal. This is not a city requirement, this is not a state requirement, this is a federal requirement. That in order to alleviate any issues, litigation or whatever, you need to justify and have one of these 7 warrants put in there. Some of it is traffic volume, some of it is accidents and all that, but not until a study gets done will, a traffic signal be evaluated. But remember, this one on Burt Road, it's a right in, right out. Since TxDOT put in those raised medians, as you come out through Burt Road, I believe you cannot turn left, you're gonna have to turn right. I think go to Stockyard and be able to
Make a U-turn.
make a U-turn there, correct.
Okay. Off of or adjacent to Burt Road, are there any other parcels out there that this owner or you as a developer, are you guys looking at anything else that will be
I mean,
developed?
the next item is right next to this.
More development.
And that's, that I'm aware of, that's it. I've told them
That
to
would be
stop buying this land. I mean, it's good for the city because they're putting vacant land that no one's farming into the tax rolls and hopefully increase the tax value for the city as well. But at this point, this one and then the one that's next to it, which is Horizon Park Unit 4, that's the next case, are the only ones that I'm aware of, plus the other ones that you've already heard and approved.
Yeah, I think something to make note of is that we would like to get everything developed, but we also have a infrastructure of traffic where you have 18 lots on this side, and your next item has 18 lots on the
Correct.
next item. And so like you said, you only have, and it's just a point just to make, is that you have to turn right. And so everybody's making U-turns on those mediums, and of course the traffic is bad. That would be the only thing, is that, yeah, we wanna develop everything, but we also have to worry about, is the city gonna step up to, we're gonna have a traffic light or to direct traffic for those that are actually gonna live in these areas right here, to get out. I live off of Horizon. I have trouble crossing, and I don't have to do a turnaround. I have crossing
Right.
over the 2 lanes to the other side because of traffic.
And that's why I think
Having to go-
TxDOT introduced those medians.
Yeah, and so I
More from a
think-
safety, and it's not just North Loop, but if you go throughout
Yeah,
areas just in El Paso County, they've introduced a lot of median Mesa, a lot of these that were open, Montana, a lot of these that were, I call them just turning lanes. I have now actually, they put actually a barrier now, which is the median, and controlled where you can actually turn.
Yeah. So,
One last question. No,
No,
sorry.
I'm
I never
good.
took- Okay. Out of curiosity, on Mesa Drain, I know this development is adjacent to it. Is that gonna be fully walled in, or are you guys gonna leave an entrance to there? I know that's an easement. I believe it might be like the water easement, Mesa Drain Road. Is there gonna be an
I
entrance
think
through
that's
there?
the Water Improvement District.
Mhm.
There's no road, or there's
Well,
no,
it's
the district,
yeah,
it
there's a
is?
park.
Oh, there's,
Got it.
oh. it's
But
east
no
of the-
entrance to the development through there?
No, they have not asked, but that's probably something if y'all, we could consider.
Would that be a possibility? I mean, I don't, just curious.
We
There's
can,
already a park there.
we can coordinate with your staff, and then see what access points can be there, because if it is, they're a park, might as well be able to provide access to it. Because it's a lease only, right? You all don't own it, yeah. Okay. But we'll coordinate with your staff. You can have that, my word, I'll coordinate with Ms. Gamito.
No, my end.
No further questions.
no, I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion made by Yolanda Rodriguez to approve, second by Osvaldo Reza. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 Any nays? Any abstain? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 12, consider and take action on the proposed approval of preliminary plat Horizon Park Unit 4 subdivision being a track 10-1, 10I, Block 3, Socorro Grant, and located at East Bird Road, Socorro, Texas. Mr. Botello?
Good evening, Commissioners. Item number 12 on the agenda is the Horizon Park Unit 4 subdivision preliminary plat. So some general information on this preliminary plat. The property owner is the Bowling Brothers Development Company LLC. The representative, once again, is Mr. Azcarate. The lot size is 3.44 acres. The zoning for this development is R2, which is our medium-density residential zoning district. Current land use is vacant. And in summary, the request is for approval of a preliminary plat for Horizon Park Unit 4 subdivision. Staff is recommending approval of the preliminary plat for Horizon Park Unit 4 subdivision with the condition that the engineer request a waiver from section 38-49 compliance with requirements under subsection D6 for the proposed storm drainage tie into Cotton Cove Unit 2, and with the condition that the applicant or engineer submit an amendment to the Horizon Park master plan required under section 38.7.11 master plan changes, and this would be under subsection 3. And so on the location map, you'll see that this property is situated also along Burt Road, and this development would be right next to the Cotton Cove Unit 2 subdivision that was previously discussed. Followed by the zoning map, the property outlined in a red line, the orange denoting the R2 zoning district for this property. And then this is a view of the property from East Burt Road. Followed by the aerial image, the property contained within the yellow line. And then this is the preliminary plat showing what the intent is for this development, which is to create another right-of-way and residential lots tying into East Burt Road. And so once again, the request is for approval of the preliminary plat for Horizon Park Unit 4 subdivision. And at this time, staff can answer any questions. We also have Mr. Azcarate present to answer any questions as well.
What's the width on Burt Road, the right-of-way on Burt Road?
I believe it's 40 feet. 45.
Does the city of Socorro have any plans? Is there anything coming up as far as is it on the radar for improvements of Burt Road? Is it any discussion anywhere? No, anybody bringing it up?
No, not currently.
No, not currently.
It will definitely be up on the list of items to consider, should the city, be ready to move forward with looking at, any new, certificates of obligation to bring in more money to address, streets such as these that are developing, and to existing streets that need to be maintained.
Okay. Mr. Azcarate, do you know the width on Burt Road? By any chance?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Actually, I just checked the plat map, and the right-of-way, the existing right-of-way for Burt Road is 55 feet.
55 feet.
Right. I just don't know the width of the pavement. That I want to say, looking at the map, and I guess I'm just making a guess, just looking at it, it's probably about 35 feet.
The existing pavement.
The existing might be 30 to 35 feet.
So you have another 10 on each side.
Right, because there's an area, I think, on the north side that looks a little bit wider, so that's why I'm kind of guessing that's about 35,
Okay.
30 to 35 feet.
Okay. welcome to Socorro.
Thank you. But we will be, on our portion, we're gonna be putting sidewalks and all that stuff on our side. And the same on the previous case, just so you know.
So you'll be improving your.
Our portion, right, with sidewalks, correct,
Okay.
correct.
The recommendation to connect to the, ponding area is gonna be the one running through lot 5 and 6, right? That I can see here on the picture?
That's correct. There's a drainage easement
To the
into
Concord
Concove. Since he owns both of them, might as well have one pond instead of have two ponds.
For both communities.
Right, and it increases the maintenance cost for the city.
Thank you.
Why not combine these into one plat, like one?
Because there were, well, I can tell you that, if you go back to the previous one, it was already in design by someone else, which is H2O Terra. So he kind of bought the property with the plans already fully done, so if he wants us to do it, then obviously I have to charge him again. It just doesn't make sense. But he just wanted me to represent him just because he's a guy that he just wants to pick up the phone and deal with one person, not millions of people, so
I see. Okay,
that's the only reason.
I'm good.
I don't have any questions.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion made by Julie Dominguez to approve, second by Osvaldo Reza. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstain? Motion carried. Moving on to item 13, planning and zoning.
I have a quick comment. Aside, I think for the public, there's a gentleman who's raising his hand, and I guess it's clarification for myself. But during preliminary plat, there are no public notifications, right? No public hearing, is there a public hearing for the final plat? No, there is no public hearing, okay. Okay, so I wanted to clarify for the gentleman over there in the back.
If you have questions, we can, meet with you after the meeting.
Well, there was a question raised by the city council, and I'm very familiar with that section. So, but he said about the park in Washington Street, that's what you're talking about. There's a park that owns by the city. Mesa Drain is gonna connect, they're gonna connect to Mesa Drain. Mesa Drain goes to Washington. If they can pave that, then you can have access towards Washington. You're not just having access towards the North Loop, you can have access to Washington. That way, you will follow up in Walmart. You will have access to Washington. So that's the point of information I'm trying to give the developer. That way, and it falls under the park also, because Washington is big. So if they're gonna go to Mesa Drain, why not pay, Mesa that's not, it's about maybe 300 feet? And they'll give you access for the people also that are in that residential to go to Washington. That way they won't follow that in Norfolk, as it is, it's already bottleneck. That's what I'm saying, they put a stoplight there, we got residential that are new, and they're gonna bottle up over there, as it is, they're bottling up already. So you have to be very careful with what they're gonna be developing.
If I may, and if we can open it up for discussion with them or to hear, is that okay?
Thank you, sir.
You want to open up public discussion on a particular item or general?
In general?
Is there any questions? Yeah. Can we?
I'm wondering how many people are here,
Correct.
right, that have questions that might be answered. But I also want to make it clear that it's just giving them an opportunity to ask a question and speak, and just like the gentleman did. But this item has already been voted on, right? It's already,
Yeah, that's what it says, since we have these items that have been voted on, because otherwise then if somebody was like the applicant, then they will get a chance to respond, but on these, there is the public hearing. That's probably a better way to handle it, is these items will also go to the city
you know when this item is going up to city council? I didn't catch it.
That would be the second meeting in October.
The second meeting in October. Okay. Okay, I think we can move on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Estrada. Moving on to item 13, Planning and Zoning Commissioners Report. Commissioners?
I'm thinking the item that had been tabled for the A1 zoning, is that still on schedule for October?
October 2nd?
For October 2nd, okay. All right.
And I just want to reiterate that we all understand that we have an infrastructure problem. Yes, we do want to develop the city of Socorro with everything that is coming in. However, I think that as we proceed with approving all these plots and all these new areas, is that the city needs to try to push forward in more of an urgent matter to try and facilitate the traffic to flow. Because as it is right now, it does bottleneck, and it just doesn't bottleneck on Burt Road, it bottlenecks everywhere, because there's not an out. All of our streets have an N, but there's no that way. And I think it's important that we try to push our city staff to try and move forward a little quicker, because the residential part is growing very fast. And that's all I wanted to say.
I agree. I have a question. Can you, I guess, clarify what vacancies are available right now and what will be coming up for planning and zoning? I know Mr. Cisnero announced.
Good evening, Commissioners. For now, we have under Mayor as an alternate, is vacancy, and for Mr. Cisneros is under Mayor as well.
Under mayor as well, okay.
Yes.
So when will be Mr. Cisnero's last meeting? He's already resigned. Okay.
Okay.
So right now we have,
Alternate, it's under Mayor. It's the vacancy I just
okay. So
So
we have,
actually, it's two vacancies.
it's 2 vacancies right now. That's 4 of us. So it's a total of 6 seats, basically. Is that correct? I thought it was 7.
7.
So it's 7?
Yeah, because it's 5 of us now, and then 2 vacancies, that's 7.
Oh, Andy, I'm missing Andy. Okay, so it's 7. Okay, and so what's the procedure, I guess? What, if someone's interested, someone in the public, what would be the procedure for them to,
With Ms. Olivia Navarro, well, our city clerk.
okay, just go, and they don't need to be appointed by the mayor, or they do?
And their first point of contact should be our city clerk, Olivia Navarro. If they want more information and they want to download any of the forms, they can visit the city website, the city clerk page, to fill out those applications.
Okay,
Once they show interest and reach out to Ms. Navarro, she can get them into contact with any of the representatives that have vacancies, so they can meet and discuss the appointment. It would then go to city council for action
For
for approval of the positions.
for approval.
Then they get a training on procedures and sign their certifications and get sworn in, or sworn in and then the training.
Okay. And we need a minimum of 3 members present for quorum. Correct.
Correct.
Okay. I'm good.
If there's no more comments, we'll move on to item 14, Planning and Zoning Department Report. Ms. Camito?
Thank you, Mayor. Last week, actually, the week before, the city was invited to participate in the El Paso Mission Trail Heritage on the Move Working Committee. This is a part of a coordinated effort with
which bridges is there any in the works or,
No,
or?
this is right now, new, Passmore and Vineyard. So we are going to just now begin the process of, design.
Will they do them before next season's irrigation, or we don't know that?
No, it'll probably be after that, and then we're gonna do them one at a time.
Perfect. Great news.
If that's all, we'll be moving on to item number 15, consider and take action on the adjournment of this meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion made by Julie Dominguez to adjourn, second by Osvaldo Reza. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstain? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned at 6:41. Thank you all for coming.